to Christ Calls, where ex-atheists share their amazing stories of how they found Christianity and turned to Jesus. Have you ever wondered what it takes for a non-believer to find Jesus? Well, you're in the right place. In this series, we sit down with individuals who have experienced a crazy shift in their beliefs, discovering a new life in Christ and turning their lives completely around. Their stories are powerful, moving, and truly inspiring. So stay tuned as we uncover the turning points, challenges, and miracles that led them to faith. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Okay.
So I look at you or I look at the camera?
Now you look at the camera.
Okay, perfect.
But are you in it?
Yeah.
Just
go a bit more down. Yeah, okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the first episode of Christ Calls, where I basically talk to ex-atheists who turned Christian and ask them questions on their journey to Christ. So I'm here today with my first guest. Can you introduce yourself?
So my name is Kanye Rodriguez, as she said. I used to be an atheist, now I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Christ, and life's never been better.
Let's go. How old are you?
18.
Okay, perfect.
No one's gonna introduce me.
Yeah, okay, introduce yourself.
I'm Sophie's brother. We're just out here.
Okay.
How old are you?
About to turn 19.
So for this video, we're gonna have 5 different topics. The first topic is gonna be a little bit about Kayan's personal background. So his life before turning Christian and his life as an atheist. And we're gonna go on to the turning point where he started questioning things. Then we're gonna go on to the journey to Christ, and he's going to share a bit of his testimony. Then we're going to talk about his life after finding Christ. Why are you guys looking like that? Okay. And then at the end, we're going to give you guys a little bit of advice if you want to turn to God or if you want to start your walk with God. So let's get into it. Firstly, Kayan, could you share a bit about your background as an atheist, your day-to-day life, if you grew up in a religious household, or your situation on that?
So my family's never really been religious. They did support like the idea of Allah being God, Muslims specifically, but they never prayed, they never really went to the mosque. So not really a religious family, but I had the idea always. But for me, it was always like, my dad was an atheist, my mom really didn't believe in Allah as much, it was more my grandparents. So I was just born in a household where I was like, okay, I know there's a God that exists, but right now I don't really think that it's real. I thought it was just part of like the world. There's always a story to something. I always thought it was just to fill up some gaps of the evolution.
Okay, so your family wasn't religious, and your friends around you, was there any Christians around you, or like? Never
really. Okay. I was just full of atheists. I wasn't like someone who would push atheism as well, like in the sense of I never thought I would be Christian or I'd be religious at any point of my life.
That's crazy. Yeah. And as an atheist, what is your point of view on life? So like your thinking and your values, your priorities as an atheist?
So for me, it was very weird in the sense of, I thought if no one sees me doing something, it never really happened. Because there's no God watching me. There's no angels watching me. It's just me. And I can kind of block off memories if I want to, just because like it's only myself. I was doing kind of the most degenerate shit you could have done, like just thought there was no value of it, I didn't think it looked bad because I was like, no one's gonna see it, it's just gonna be me and my 2 friends that know about this, and it's not gonna have any repercussion. So I was living life without having a thought of, okay, what repercussions would this bring me, or what consequences is this gonna bring me in the long term? And I was just very selfish.
I think it's very interesting to see how your life was as an atheist. But now let's actually get into the turning point. So can you describe the moment or experience that made you start questioning being atheist? So that was like, hold up, like maybe there is something out there?
Yeah. So for me, it was actually when I met Benz. He told me that he was getting into, like, he's a Christian, and I just knew that he was, after going to that Bali trip, so me and him, we went on a business trip. And then I just realized a couple things about him that just showed me he was a genuinely like nice person inside, like no fake, like it was just actually him being real. I thought that had something to do with him having a relationship with God. I thought like, okay, he's actually like a nice person, like he has no hate towards me because he knows that I am a child of God is an example. Like, I didn't know that
Yeah.
part, but I just knew God had something to do with it. And then it was really when we were starting to talk at the dinner table, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this more
Wait,
seriously.
actually?
Yeah, because before
What?
that, I was studying it, but I was like pushing it aside. I was like, once I'm 23, 24, after I'm done partying, after I'm done like doing the dumb shit.
But yeah, because you guys don't know this, because Benta told me that you were actually debating on choosing Christianity or
Muslim.
yeah,
being a
exactly.
Muslim,
And then
Islam.
we had like a conversation at dinner where I was talking to him about Christianity, and he was like, well, why do you think Christianity is the real true religion? I was just like saying some things, and like I remember you told me you really got goosebumps in that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I was like, that's crazy, because like
And that is something that we kept continuing till about a week and a half, like 2 weeks ago. Every time I entered a church, every time I talked about Christ, every time I prayed, every time I touched the Bible, every time anything. Like, for example, now it's starting, you're gonna see, like, it's gonna
really,
start.
that's crazy.
But for the
Okay.
past, like, 2 weeks, it's been happening less. The start, obviously, is like, you just get shown
Yeah.
so many things. Like,
Well,
I
that's-
actually felt it in the...
But that's normal. So if you can tell him your experience, that it's normal to feel separated because.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Not
'cause, like,
separate, but more distance
no,
than
no,
what
no.
I was
'Cause-
at the start.
yeah, because as a Christian in the beginning,
Yeah.
it's like crazy because you feel everything like 10 times more.
Exactly.
And when you start getting to know God, like you're gonna get into situations where you don't feel God, and that's where a lot of people. Hold up. What just happened? I think those lights went off, but is it good like this too?
Also, really,
It's good.
I think
right?
it's
It
good
even
too.
looks better.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
it
a red
is.
light.
Tell him.
Okay, guys, the lights went off, but we think that this actually looks better. Anyway, so what I was saying is that, yeah, in the beginning you feel everything 10 times more, and the more you start growing your relationship with God, you're gonna feel Him less. And that's where a lot of people are like, hey, God is not real, because like I'm
Yeah.
going through this really hard situation, and God is not there. But you just have to know, like, the teacher is always silent during a test, for example. It even says in the Bible, I was reading this the other day, when we go through hard times, we should be really happy because hard times turn us into a better person. When we go through hard times, God is always wanting to teach us something, whether that be to be more patient or to be more selfless, you know, and we have to go through these challenges in order to grow as a person. So we should always actually be happy.
100%. And I feel like it was a test, like you really said. Because at the start, like, when you read the Bible, it's just mind-blowing. So everything in the religion is mind-blowing at the start. Because you feel it,
Yeah.
you see it.
But what did you think of, actually, I wanted to ask this question of Ben's and I, because you knew that we were Christians. Like, before becoming a Christian yourself, what was your point of view on Christian people? Did you think that they were weird? I don't know. It can look really weird from the outside. So for you, was that weird? Or were you like, yeah, I like Benza, but like, why is, like, it's just a little weird to me. Some people are really like against it. So like,
For me, I was never against it though. No, not anything against both of you. But for me, it was always like, I was like, why are you putting someone else above you? Like, I always put myself above anything at the start, you know, that selfishness. And I was like, why wouldn't she do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Like, it just brings more benefit. Like, what's the point of, let's say, giving a bit of yourself to someone else? Like, if you could just have everything. And then I just realized it feels better giving, knowing that you're doing something good. And that's not weird. I just thought, like, why would you put someone in front of you that's
Yeah.
not your family or, you know, someone that you see?
okay, so
Specifically.
turning back to you choosing Christianity, so how come at the end you ended up choosing Christianity? So why didn't you choose any other religion?
It's because like I said, I went through all of them. It was, for me, the hardest one was Islam and then Christianity. And then I just realized once you really get into the Islam religion and you really start reading everything for what it is, it shows you that it's not the relationship, like it's not the religion that you think it is. It's not as loved as, for example, Christians, where it's everything about love. It's everything about, I'm going to try to convince you, but if not, you know, like, I hope the Lord shows up in your life and talks to you at some point. For me, I was born you could say a Muslim because of my mother's side of the family. Theoretically now, because I switched to Christians, if a Muslim would see me, he would have to stone me to death. Once I...
So you made your research with Islam as well, and
100%. And then it really says everything. Everything you hear about Christ in the Bible is said in Islam as well, except only one thing, that he is not the Son of God and he is not God. they just call him as a different prophet, but he was one of the best prophets even in Islam. And then, for example, Prophet Muhammad, which was the last prophet in the Muslim religion, he had a wife that was 12 years old. How is it okay to force someone to marry? You know what I mean? So for me, it was just understanding research, and then it just shows you really what is real and what's fake.
Yeah, but again, there was another thing. I don't know if you know this, if Benta told you, but when you were choosing between the two religions, I went to church, and that day, a guy that read the whole Quran, he was there, and he was never there before, and I was like, wait, that's crazy. And we started talking, and I started talking about you, because I was like, you're leaning more towards Islam and stuff, and I was like, I really don't want you to go that direction. And he was talking to me about it, and at the end, we decided to all pray together, like in the church over you, to turn to Christianity. And that's crazy.
And then like a week or 2 weeks later, I actually felt it, and I felt it in a... I told this to Benz. I never thought, like, I thought what you guys were saying about, like, feeling it like this was some type of bullshit, really. But I felt it one day in my bed that every, like, bad thing that I had in me just, like, it was taken away. I was laying in bed, and I just felt like 10 kilos, like...
Really?
Genuinely, like, I felt it leave my body.
So would you say that was your first encounter that you had with God?
That was my first, exactly, that was my first encounter.
That would actually be a question, like, can you tell me about your first encounter with God, the first time you felt his presence? So, like, for somebody from the outside, it obviously sounds crazy. When I tell my friends that don't believe in God, like, oh yeah, when you feel his presence, it's like so good, and they're like, what do you mean?
No, because I thought, that was me, I thought like, what do you mean? Like, what the you mean you feel his presence? Like,
hey guys, I'm currently editing this video. It is editing Sophie right here, but I just wanted to add in that Kyan is still a very new believer, and he still struggles with cursing, so he does curse in this video a couple of times, and I'm bleeping it out, but I just wanted to add that in here. It is not good, but it's something that he should be working on. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Don't judge him, because he's still a very new believer and he still struggles with a couple of things. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in here so you guys know that, and I'm bleeping them all out. So yeah.
But so what happened to me, it was like 2 a.m. I was in my bed. It was after, I don't know what was, but a bad day, I think, or something. I wasn't really feeling that good. And I just decided I wasn't a Christian then. That was like exactly my turning point. I'm like, you know what? I remembered exactly what Ben said to me just one day, like, just pray, you know, just see how it does. I'm like, I got none to lose. It's 2 a.m. I'm in my bed. I'm just going to say, like, hey, Jesus, and I'm opening my heart to you, like, I genuinely want it. And exactly there, I closed my eyes. I started meditating a bit. And then I feel the goosebumps coming everywhere, all over my body. And then I just feel like, it's like I had a wet t-shirt on that just got removed. Like from my chest. Crazy. That's how it really felt. And then I was like, I opened my eyes straight after, because I thought it was weird. Like, I'm like, no one's touching me. Like, what the is this? So I opened my eyes, and I just felt relaxed. And then I was like, okay. And then I started talking more to God. I started praying even more. And I just keep feeling like even more relaxed. And then the next day I woke up and I ordered the Bible.
Wow, that's... So do you think after that encounter you were like, wow, God is real? Like,
no, I was like 100%.
Wow, okay, that's crazy.
Because I'm not the type of person that would like bullshit about like feeling something like that, and I always thought it was bullshit.
Yeah, because that's the thing, because you, like, Ben's always telling me, like, yeah, Kyan is Christian. I was like, Kyan is Christian? Like, you guys don't know this, but if Kyan starts believing in God, you guys, that's crazy, because like, that shows that anybody can be converted. Because I feel like you were like the biggest, like, atheist back then. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a problem.
That's why for me it was like, next day I didn't even question it. I didn't even say, wait, maybe it was like, I don't know, because I was meditating, whatever. I just knew it because it was a feeling I never felt, and it was something out of this world. Like, it was genuinely something out of this world.
That's so, and that encounter changed everything.
Everything. I remember I woke up the next day, I was in the shower, and I was just thanking God. I was like, damn,
wow,
like,
that's
this
crazy.
Is actually going to be...
Because that's how it goes, because like you did not believe, then that encounter happened, and then you were just like, changed.
100%. And then the next day, I remember, because it was like 2 encounters, like super close.
Whoa.
I'm not really, like, I'm a nice person, but like when it comes to helping out people that I don't know, like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not really that sentimental with people. But there was this one, like, just homeless guy that was sitting outside, like, the supermarket. I talked to him. I was like, hey, do you want anything? I'll get you some. He's like, yeah, please. And then I'm like, he's like, thank you. And I remember this exactly. Don't thank me. This is not for me. This is from Jesus.
Oh, that's so
I told him that,
nice.
and that was my first day. Like, that was right after that night. So then I go buy him whatever. It was like he bought something for his family. And then I'm going back home. I'm like, okay, I kind of feel good.
Yeah.
I did something nice. But that day as well, I was having a really big issue with something in like our company. And it was going to take me like 10 hours to figure out. And I was not looking forward to it. And I was like, please just, I actually don't want to this. And then I got a random message after doing that 20 minutes of someone saying, hey, I'll do it completely for free. Someone that I didn't know, never talked to before, that didn't have to pay. Usually someone would charge like $2,000 for it. Just did it for free, set it up for me in 10 minutes, and just said bye.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I was like, what the f***? Like,
yeah.
I started, when the Bible came, just reading, because I wanted to like make sure I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
You know?
So can you give me the keys? I want to get a slice of pizza. I'm gonna eat it here.
Okay.
But just continue. Be like, I'll be right back. You know, tell them like this.
Oh my God.
Would you say that was the strongest? Okay, now the lights are back on. Oh no, now we have to wait again until it goes off. Anyway, but would you say that was the strongest you felt God? So what was the strongest time you felt God's presence? Was it the first time you felt Him?
Yes.
Or did anything else happen after that that you were like, wow, this is the strongest time I felt God's presence?
I felt some other times, but in different ways. First time was actually where I just felt like my body just doing something that was out of this world. I was like, okay, this is not normal, because it happened slowly. I felt like skin was being lifted off, like bad skin was just being lifted off my body, and it just like
and with you saying the goosebumps, every time I really like feel God's presence, I always get goosebumps.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And as we were talking, I was also having goosebumps, and when you said you too, I was like, no way, like God's spirit.
And that's what I think it's genuinely the Holy Spirit. Like, for example, now you can't really see it, but you can though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like every time, these 2 weeks a bit less, but before, every single time I touched the cross, I touched anything, I felt it. Yeah.
Now we're gonna move on to after finding Jesus. So how did your friends and family react to your newfound faith? So did they even notice anything? Did they start treating you differently? Or what did people around you say?
So they did straight away, just because they were like, okay, you just seem a bit like nicer, and like
really, like before you even telling them like, hey, like I actually
they just
crazy.
knew like I was nicer, not so aggressive, not like I just seemed like a nicer person, and I feel like that was my energy as well. I had the Holy Spirit in me, so it's like just feel good, you know, instead of having just like, I don't know. My mom, for example, she really she didn't believe that I believed in, you know, in Christianity. No one could believe it. They were like, wait,
like
you were like Christian? Like, how did that happen? And then like they started realizing, because I started actually going to church almost every day, and then I read the Bible every day, every morning.
Yeah, but that's again another thing. Like, going to church does not make you have a relationship with God. Like,
it doesn't.
I feel like that's another thing that people say, like, hey, I've been going to church for a year, but like you don't have a relationship with God. Like, that's the thing. Like, for me personally, I didn't find God in the church. Like, I feel like it's so sad sometimes, because I feel like a lot of people, they go to church on Sundays, and then Saturday night they're like partying and everything. Like, that's not about, like, it's not a religion. It's literally a relationship. It's like a friendship. So it's really good that you go to church and everything.
For me, I go to church because it's like you're taking that time. You're telling God, like, hey, I know this is not a must. I know I can do this in my light when I turn, like, in my room when I turn the light off. But like, it's, for me in my head, it's like I'm just showing him that like I'm actually gonna do it. Like, I'm going out of my house, taking my time, going to the church, and then just
the community as well.
Exactly.
It's really important.
I haven't really met the community. I haven't spoken to anyone yet, but
oh really? But other than us, do you know any Christians? Like,
I do know Christians, but like not fully Christians. Like, it's just friends that wear the cross. They say they're Christians, but it's not really it.
Okay, and how? What?
Brenda.
Oh yeah, no, but she believes as well now. It's crazy. Shout out to Brenda if you're watching this. I don't think she is.
Brenda.
No, she has a boyfriend.
Shit. He's a Christian as well.
Yeah. Anyway, how do you think your perspective on life changed since becoming a Christian? So like, what do you notice in yourself that is different compared to when you were an atheist, when you didn't believe in God?
life has like more of a meaning, really. Like for me, it was always just I wanted to do what I wanted to do, like just make money, have fun, do XYZ, like. And now it's like there's eternal life, like there is more meaning to life than just living 90 years, 100 years, and then dying. And that just really changed my perspective on everything, because it's like, when I do something, I want to be the best at it. So like, life has more meaning now. Like it's more beautiful, meeting people is nicer, because you know they're all children of God. And you feel like you're connected, you feel like your community actually brings you meaning. Conversations you have, you're like, okay, I didn't have a conversation with a stranger. I had a conversation with someone that's also made in the image of God, and I made his day, I made him smile, he's gonna go home now.
Yeah.
You know, and that just, like, back in the day I never really gave but now it's like, okay.
And would you say that has been the most rewarding part of your faith?
100%. Now, like, giving is, like, one of the best things you can really do, and
nice.
Not giving gifts, but just giving people the feeling that you have, that God gives you, feeling safe, feeling happy, feeling like, okay, like, I don't really need anything
Christ
right now.
love, you know?
Exactly. And doesn't get better than that, really.
Yeah, because like even if you don't have money, you don't have to buy people gifts, just like Kyan said. Like it's enough if you just compliment them, give them a smile. Like that actually does so much more than we think.
Or just tell them like, hey, I'm praying for you. And then just if you say that, hey, I'm praying for you to have a lovely day, they are going to have the best day in their life, because they're like, someone actually like stopped me, like for some reason I just did it like 3-4 times. It's like the people, you really see them happy, like.
But some people get freaked out though when
they do, but
like, yeah, I'm praying for you. They're like, stop. Like, no, I don't want you to pray for me.
Some people really hate Christianity,
and that's again like the thing. It even says in the Bible, like the world is gonna hate us because they hated 100%. Jesus first, and it's so true. Like always Christianity in everything, and that's another thing. And I'm like, it's so real because.
Really pushed me to Christianity as well, that every single like big corporation, big like for example Hollywood, the music industry, everything is just shitting on Christ. It just really shows you like which one's real, which one's not. Do you have any like favorite Bible verse that sticks out to you that you'd like to share that helped you in your journey? I do have a favorite Bible verse. I'm still not so good with all the names, but I know it's like, I think it's chapter 6, verse 11, but it's God's armor. It's, I try to say it every morning. I don't really yet still, but I'm trying to get to that point. We're almost done. What would you say your favorite thing is that you learned about Jesus? That he really loves every single one of his children, because like, for him to forgive some of the things I've done, like I feel like I wouldn't even forgive myself. Like, so it's like, he's a forgiving God. He is a forgiving God. He makes you feel good as well. He doesn't like say like, I forgive you, but like I'm gonna keep it in mind to like push it to you every now. No. Wipes it clean. Exactly. It's just he forgives it. He wants the best for you. Okay, and now for our last topic is a little bit of advice for you guys. So we have 2 last questions, and like, Ken, what would you say? Like, what advice would you give to someone who is like skeptical about Christianity or struggling with their faith but is open to? Read all the other religions and then read Christianity and then just see yourself, like open the Bible, guys. Exactly. Not only the Bible, open all of them, and then you'll see that the Bible is really mentioned in all of them. Okay, and last question, how would you suggest like other Christians to start a conversation with atheists? So because you were in that position, like how would you have wanted someone as a Christian to approach you? What should they do, but what should they not do? That's a hard question, really, because as an atheist, like, really anything anyone says, like, it goes in one ear, comes back out the other one. So it's like, till you don't want to find it yourself, you can't really. Oh, that's good advice. Because for me, there's 1,000 times people told me millions of things about Islam, about Christianity. If I was an atheist, I was like, one here. You didn't want to learn, so you... Exactly, I didn't want to learn. So it's... Whenever you want to learn, like, just open all the religions and you'll find the real one. I would just say, like, pray for them. Like, that's the only thing that you can do. Like, that honestly let helps. God change their heart posture.
Exactly, that will help Karen as well, actually.
And exactly. Like, and I feel like it's like you're showing God another version of, like, you're not trying to prove to the person, like, oh, I'm the one that changed you, or, like, I'm the one that tried. You know, it's like, you went to the church. I didn't even know about it. You prayed to God, to him appeared in my life, and then he appeared in my life. So it's crazy. Like, you're not trying to flex, and that's something that is mentioned in the Bible. Don't try to push Christianity down the throat. It's whenever... the seed, but like, at the end of the day, it's God who changes the heart. Exactly,
Sure.
because no one can get in it.
Yeah, okay guys, that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna give an Instagram shout out to these boys. So here's Ben's Instagram, here's Kyan's. Go follow them on the socials. And I hope you guys learned something about God and that hopefully it changed your perspective on Christianity. God bless you all. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you guys for watching.
And like and
Bye.
subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. Like and subscribe. I forgot to say that.
Smash that stop button, innit?
Bye.